In this video, I'm going to show you how to flood cookies with royal icing using 6 different ways. Some of these I have never tried before, so I am also going to share my experience with these new techniques. So here I've got about 8 to 10 second consistency royal icing. I colored it and I let it rest to let the bubbles rise, and now we can pop those bubbles. You can also press the icing against the side of the bubble, and this is going to help pop those bubbles as well. I want to keep this covered as I work on my cookies. You can leave it partially open, but mostly keep it covered. You can also put it under a damp paper towel. And guess what? We're going to be using spoons. Now, I highly recommend that you use a small spoon instead of a large spoon. You have more control with small spoon. We're going to also outline each cookie. So if you're working with several cookies, you can outline them all at the same time, one after another. And for the outline, you can use like 25-second to piping consistency. I also optioned for a really simple outline here, but I wanted to test how the spoon technique works on a more complicated shape, and this one, I mean, it hits all the all the markers. So it's quite complicated, and I actually had to adjust the cutter. I made it slightly wider at the tail section because it was so narrow. So if you ever come across a cutter that has super narrow like appendages and you are having a hard time actually getting it out when you're cutting it out, you can kind of expand it with pliers. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take our spoon, get some icing on the cookie, and I also found out that turntable that I normally really don't use for cookie decorating works fantastic. For this technique especially, it's a must. So you can turn the turntable as you're trying to spread the icing and use the tip of the spoon to get into those hard to reach areas. That's why it's important that your spoon is on a smaller side. If you're working with a larger spoon, it's a bit more difficult. Now I suppose have done maybe on gingerbread houses this technique, but not on a smaller scale like this. Gingerbread houses, usually you work with a larger panel, so it's slightly different, and they are mostly kind of geometrical shapes, so it's a bit easier. You can also go over the edge a little bit to cover that outline if you prefer that look without the outline. Now I really enjoyed this technique. I have to say it was really fun. Now in this technique, this is a technique that I would recommend if you are planning on doing wet on wet design, especially if you're struggling and your icing is, let's say, overflowing. So you create a dam with slightly thicker icing, like 25-second consistency, or you can use 20-second, let it crust for a little bit, and then you can come in with more fluid icing around 7 to 8 seconds, and this is going to heal very, very quickly, which is great for wet on wet if you're doing a lot of different details and you don't want your icing to start crusting as you are working. Now in this third design, we're going to do this is a classic. I'm using hybrid icing basically, so I'm using my flat consistency. It's for the outline and also for the flood. So this is about 15-second consistency. Oftentimes when you use runnier icing for this particular technique, icing can start overflowing. So 15-second, it's a good kind of like a golden way, you know, it's a midpoint between 10 and 20, and it gives really nice results. I use this most of the time. You can also find a recipe for royal icing I like to use on my blog, hanielas.com. Now in this technique, we're going to also use a kind of freestanding bowl with a little bit of icing. I let it rest. Let's pop those bubbles. And for this technique, you can also use about 8 to 10-second consistency royal icing. I have not used this technique on a smaller scale, so I didn't know kind of what to expect, because I think it works, but it takes some practice, let's be honest. I felt like it was a bit messy. I got a lot of icing on my hands, and I had to kind of keep it in place. holding it so I could brush this on. Also, it's a bit difficult to get super even surface. So I would say that if you're going to stencil with royal icing, this may not be the ideal technique to float the cookies, but if you practice enough, I think it's possible that you can get a better result, even more even layer. But other than that, I think it's possible to ice the cookies with a paintbrush, and I've seen people do that really successfully. Maybe I'm just not very good at it because I haven't done it too many times. Now, this is a technique that I absolutely love. It's so fun, and I think this would be great for the kids. So if you are planning, let's say, even a Christmas party or like any kind of decorating party, cookie decorating party, this would be a great technique for the kids because they don't have to handle piping bags. You are the one handling the piping bag. You pipe the guides with piping consistency royal icing, or you can use 25 to piping consistency. And then kids can use colored royal icing that you prepared and food only paintbrushes. And this was really fun to do. It felt like I'm painting. It was a different feel as opposed to when you use a piping bag to float the cookies. You can also go over the edge a little bit to hide the outline. And for this technique, I also recommend around 10 to 15 second consistency. And we're going to let the adjacent sections, we're going to do the adjacent section after the section crust first. So I'm going to do the middle part of the swirl. And then I'm going to let the icing dry for about 10-15 minutes. Now keep in mind that the icing in the bowl, it starts to crust. So as much as possible, keep it covered. Or you can also have a damp towel on it. You can see I have a food wrap on it, but damp towel helps really to keep the icing from crusting. I didn't change the colors, but you can obviously do this in different colors. And then maybe you can have some sprinkles on hand or some royal icing transfers that kids can use if you decide to use this technique for a kid party. Now, as far as the paintbrushes, this is a Filbert. I believe this is a Filbert 1/4 inch. So it's like a medium size, but you can also use a smaller line of paintbrushes for tiny little details if you're working with different designs. All right, and now I think you know where I'm going with this one. This is the dipping technique. This is very popular. You can do this in a bowl or on a plate. If you're doing this on a bowl, you can also use the edge of the bowl to kind of help you not scrape the icing off, but like you can run it across like against the edge, and it helps remove that excess icing. Now with this technique, there are always bubbles, so you have to kind of keep popping those. You can also prepare your icing ahead of time, store it in a bowl, and then pop the bubbles after they rise to the top. So I have to say, I have my favorites. I think my least favorite is the paintbrush, but that may be just because I need to practice a little more. If you enjoyed this video, give it thumbs up, and I will see you next time.